Hey you guys, it's Peter, and I'm back. Of course I'm back. I'm not going anywhere. Beast! I'm YouTube famous now. Available in 2018, the album, Dad AF. Okay, let's get right into this video. So, I'm making this video for two reasons. The first reason I'm making this video is because I have received so many requests in my Instagram messages and in my Twitter DMs. People are like, will you please ring in on what is going on between James Charles and Alexis Stone? And so basically, if you guys don't know the story is just messy, y'all. It's just messy. It is totally messy. And kind of embarrassing, honestly, is the way that I look at it. So I'm just going to kind of give my 2 cents, okay? This is not going to be a receipt-driven video. I have watched all of the drama videos that have been put out there. There are some very, very good drama videos out there about this topic that has all of the receipts. The receipts! Whitney, the receipts. So this is just my commentary on it, okay? And I do have a solution to this for Alexis and James, and I will share that at the end. And I also reached out to both of them for statements and received statements from both of them. So I do have exclusive, I have exclusive statements for you guys on what they said about both of this. But just to kind of give you a little bit of a backstory, and listen, okay? There's so much with this. So don't come for me if I get one little detail. It's just one little detail. Don't come for me, okay? But this is basically what happened. So this young lady posted this picture on Instagram, and her name is, here, I'll put it up here right here. Her name is Abbey Roberts Artistry, and I believe that she is 17 years old, and that's part of the issue, is that she's younger. And so she posted this picture. Now, this is what's interesting about this picture, okay? Is that Alexis supposedly was getting a lot of comments and people saying, you know, that she had created his transformation look and what he does and his technique. His technique, okay? It's all about the technique. That's what she said. That joke and D's Nuts, 2016 wants them back. So anyway, but so she posted this picture, right? Now, I have to just say, okay, like, listen, I said in 2019, I'm coming into 2019, and we're just going to keep it 100% real over here. I'm going to say what I have to say. If I saw this picture and you asked me who I thought had done it, I would say Alexis Stone. I've followed Alexis Stone for a long time. I think I saw... It was way back in the day. I can't remember who he created, and it was like in some like major magazine. I saw like an article about it, and that was way before all this back and forth with Ms. Fame and all this kind of stuff. So, you know, I have like followed Alexis Stone for a long time in the transformations, and I think they're very, very interesting. But there is kind of like an artist signature to what he does, it seems like. Now, I know there are a lot of other people that have done transformations, and in fact, I was kind of like looking at some of these other people that have chimed in, and to be honest, many of their transformations look almost identical to Alexis's transformations, and the technique is very, very similar, so it's nothing that he invented, supposedly, even though Alexis seems to think that might be the case, but there's a lot of similar techniques or tactics, right? And, you know, I think what it brings into question is who owns the technique? Does anybody own a technique? And that's kind of at the end what like James Charles has kind of said and some things like that. But it got real messy, okay? So apparently now Alexis has gone on Instagram twice live and kind of explained his side. The first one is what really bit him in the ass, so to speak. But so what happened was apparently, if you don't know what you don't know is a lot, that he reached out to her, apparently, allegedly, this is what he said in his Instagram live story, to the artist and said something, yada, 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 whatever, like, hey, great look, gal, or something, okay? But then what he did, I guess, and he said crickets. He didn't get like any, or no, maybe that was to James Charles when he said he reached out to give him an olive branch and he got crickets. I reach out to all kinds of people and I get crickets, but I did get statements from both of them and they're good statements. So, especially James. So anyway, he reposted this on his Instagram, the picture, and he put underneath it, not my work. And then he added the artist, Abbey Roberts Artistry. Very talented, but please, if you're going to recreate my techniques and work, give credit. Y'all kids demand credit when someone uses the same eyelashes or eyeshadow brush. So, I need my readers on right now. Eyeshadow brush. So don't accuse me of being a monster for asking for credit when it comes to my techniques being replicated, because if this was the other way around, Yad, Y-A''D. I don't know. All shit yourselves, screaming, canceled. Well, everybody's calling Alexis canceled. Don't be a second-rate version of someone else. Before y'all try to turn this around on me, stop, look, think, agree. Good night. Do you remember back in the day when we were in elementary school and they would make us stop, drop, and roll? Oh my God, I forgot all about that. Thank you, Alexis, for reminding me of my elementary school days of how you get out of a fire, right? He might want to remember that because he's got himself in quite the fire, so to speak, okay? Hey, Alexis, stop, drop, and roll. Okay, so anyway, but then what happened was, if that wasn't enough, James Charles chimed in because this Adele's makeup, she retweeted the picture, and then she put some comments that Alexis Stone had put on here. Here, I'm taking these straight from Adele's Twitter, so thank you, Adele. When's your next album coming out, girl? And he said to Adele's makeup, I don't have the original tweet here, but it's probably in one of the 500 Drama Channel videos. I've never heard of the kid. Speaking of this, Abby, I saw James Charles, whoo, my readers. I saw James Charles do an eye look and woke up to a million other kids doing it. Get a grip, child. It's makeup, not the cover of Vogue. Never in my life. Have you all seen the Kevin Aquan documentary? Okay, in 1 year, he had something like, it was ridiculous. Like, he had every cover of Vogue, Cosmopolitan, all these. Now, that's a makeup artist, okay? A trained makeup artist. Okay, so anyway, he said, wait, let's get back to this. I've never heard of the kid. I saw James Charles do an eye look and woke up to a million other kids doing it. Get a grip, child. It's makeup, not the cover of Vogue. Never in my life have I dealt with something so childish. And then back at her again, he said, not going to give credit for an idea I had based off a viral trend by someone I've never heard of. Sorry if that upsets you. And this is in regards, I think, to something that, like, about James that he supposedly had copied or whatever. I don't know. That might be the part I get wrong. But James retweeted this, okay? And he said, okay, so, because she tweeted it out and she said, are we really supporting artists like this in 2019? And James responded to her and he said, he does this every week and then deletes the post like the F word, child. I cannot stand him and most others can't either, so please don't worry. And then he adds Abbey Roberts artistry. And then underneath here, my favorite is Trixie Mattel. She chimes in and she says, why won't anyone ever fight me? Trixie, I'll fight you. Expose me, Trixie. Anyway, I love Trixie Mattel. Okay. So then this goes back and forth, and it blows up into this huge thing, okay? Between James and Alexis, and how they can't stand each other, and blah, blah, blah. Boring, 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 okay? Like, this is so 2018, all these fights within the beauty influencer community. And, you know, everybody's saying that Alexis is canceled, Alexis is canceled. Well, then Alexis gets on this Instagram live story. It's uploaded somewhere. If I can find the whole uploaded live Instagram story, I will link it below. So he goes on this Instagram live story and he starts talking about how, you know, like nobody gives credit and then all of a sudden they come for him and they say he has to give credit and everybody steals and he really comes for James Charles. Like really. Do you like my new hat, my new icon hat? Really comes for James Charles, okay? And in there, he said some nice things about James Charles. He calls James Charles some names in there. Now, it's not very nice. Now, I will say, and in all seriousness for a second, okay? The problem with what Alexis did in this Instagram live story is not that he had an opinion about James Charles or that he stood up to James Charles. And I think that one of the things right now is that, like, James is growing so big that if you come against James or you don't like James or you have a different opinion than the 14 million people that follow him, then people are going to probably come for you, okay? And that's part of the problem right now. But I would say that Alexis came a little aggressively. In fact, he used some language that wasn't very nice. And, you know, he on there called James some names. We don't need to be calling anybody any names, okay? And the problem with that is, like my mother used to say, okay, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Now, I myself have said some things that I wish I hadn't said them the way that they said them. I wish that I didn't have the same tone to it the way that I had said it, that I could have probably expressed myself if I hadn't reacted and if instead I had responded, which is something I've been really working on the last 6 months. So that would be my piece of advice to Alexis, who may not care, okay? He might say, you know what, Peter, blow it out your... But I'm not gonna put that word in here because, you know, we gotta be child friendly on YouTube anymore. What 4-year-olds are watching YouTube? Oh, everyone's watching that Tyler's Toys or whatever. That's why he's got 21 million views or 21 million subscribers. Can you even imagine? Oh my God, at that age. What happens when you grow up? Then if you have that many subscribers reviewing toys and then you turn 22, what do? And then the whole world, you're like, it doesn't matter. So anyway, and I think that's kind of part of the problem of what's gone on with some of these beauty influencers is that they're very much at the top of their game, right? Well, this is interesting because I was watching the Kevin Aquan documentary. If you don't know who he is, he was this makeup artist in the 80s. He did all the supermodels and all this kind of stuff. He had many, many books out, The Power of Makeup, all this kind of stuff, right? I know, listen, I know y'all thought that it came from Nikki's tutorials, but she didn't invent it. She didn't. She stole it from him. Okay, but anyway, so it goes, I don't know if she did. I'm just joking. Listen, you know what is so crazy about this is them going back and forth talking about credit this, credit that, whatever, okay? Let's just, and I love James, okay? But James, not every one of your ideas is original. I know, everybody thinks they are, but no, they're not, okay? There's a lot of his ideas that he's literally not come up with. I know, it's whatever. Now, I'm a booktuber too, and yesterday I came up with an original book tag. I know, can you believe it? It's called the 5 Books, 5 Polls book tag. Now, if you're going to take it from me, you better credit me. Don't steal it from me. I don't care. Steal it. Steal it all day long, okay? My husband and I, we have a website, and back in the day, we interviewed Kelly Catrone, she owns People's Revolution, which is the largest fashion PR company in the world. And I remember we asked her, what do you do when people steal your ideas? And she said, I let them have it. Because I can come up with I can come up with so many more ideas, but they obviously can't because they need to steal them. So if they need to steal them, let them steal them. I'll just come up with new ideas. And I think that when you are truly an artist and you're truly proud of what you're doing, you don't need to constantly attack other people. You know, it's like, people have used clips of my videos and stuff, and I'm like, use my clips. You don't even have to credit me. I don't really care. Everybody knows who I'm in. Anyway, I'm YouTube famous. No. But you know what I mean? I'm just like, it's whatever. You don't have to use my clips. This whole idea of there are no original ideas out there, okay? There are none. Transformations are not original, okay? These are things that were done years and years and years ago. Madonna did them in her book that she put out years ago. This is way before the internet and makeup artists and all this kind of stuff. Transformations of models into other people. In fact, in the Kevin Aquan documentary, they show it in there. They show transformations of what people have done. There's one in there where Winona Ryder is, transformed. I think it's Winona Ryder into Elizabeth Taylor. This is not an original idea. There are no original ideas. You can't reinvent the wheel. It's just spin-offs, right? So why are we arguing off of all this kind of stuff? The problem was, Alexis came out and he said all this kind of stuff about James and really came for James and came for James's dating life apparently, and then he called James some really not so nice names. Okay, we don't need to do that. We just don't need to do that, right? And then James came out and he said, I can't stand this Alexis and nobody likes him and he's canceled. Okay, so then apparently Alexis came out in a second Instagram. Can you imagine? Oh my Lord, I don't have that much time in a day. 2 Instagram lives. I can hardly get on you now once. But I am going on tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I have a special for you. I am going to be doing live Sheila Wood Friendship Club readings. Can you even imagine? Okay, so if you want to see that, my YouNow is linked below. You can come over there. We're going to do a little drama, a little Sheila Wood. It'll be real fun. But anyway, so then this keeps on going on, and he comes back in the second one, and he says, I'm not apologizing for anything. I stand by what I said, okay? So at this point, I'm like, this is messy as hell. And I'm like, Peter, how would you handle this situation? And I got an answer to all that. So I reach out to both of them because I wanted to see if they had anything that they would like to say. Now, Alexis said, he was like, hey, FaceTime me, call me, whatever. I can give you a statement. I was like real busy. I had to go and pick up dog food, and I had to get my dog's medicine because poor little Pee-Pee the flying chihuahua. Did you guys see I burnt my hand on coffee that was Tuesday night, and it's still there. I think it's going to be there for life. But anyway, I had so many chores today. I didn't have time to be calling Alexis Stone up on the phone. Hey, girl, what's up? I just didn't, okay? I mean, my drama phone rings enough anyway. So anyway, I said, do you have any statement? He goes, hey, listen, I'm going to make a response video about my side of all of this. So that's the other reason I'm making this video, because I want this video out, so when that happens, I can make my response to it. Okay, so anyway, but I think that's great. I think Alexis should come out. I think Alexis should probably sit on that video for 24 hours rewatch it back, and see if it's really what he wants to put out there in the world before he does, right? That is one thing that I have really learned recently, is that I need to sit on things and really think about what I want to put out there in the world before I do. You know, because sometimes the things you say are very, very hurtful when we just react to things. And sometimes the way that we say things are very, very hurtful. And, you know, I think that if we can learn from our mistakes, which I'm a big believer in, you cannot learn from your mistakes. You cannot get up unless you fall down first. But then you have to show that you grow. And for a lot of this, to me, quite frankly, between the both of them, and I like both of them even if they're canceled the house, okay? It's a lot of childish bullshit. I'm tired of it, okay? We don't need this. You guys have so much power within the beauty industry to make it this ugly. I don't really understand. Now, I did ask James Charles for a comment. So that was Alexis's comment. He said that he was going to make a response video to it. But James's comment said, now, he had a few things to say, but they were very similar to what he said on Twitter already. So I won't repeat those, but I said, do you have a direct statement? And he said, yes. I don't know him. Never heard of her. Mariah gif. So I may include that in here somewhere. But that's how James feels about Alexis Stone. Never heard of her. Okay. So, where does that bring us? This brings us, you know, and then Alexis said in his Instagram story that I'm never going to meet you, James, but if I do, step up to my 6'2" frame, is basically what he said, okay? So, that comes across as a little aggressive, Alexis. I don't know if you meant it that way, and he said, you know, then the way they do it in the UK is they take it out to the park, and they I don't know what he meant by, what? What do y'all do in the park? Swing sets and stuff to teeter-totter? That's mean. What are you implying? That y'all are going to bust each other's up to your beautiful faces that you put makeup on for the world to look up to and admire? And that's what makes me so sad about this, right? Is that all of this is so beautiful and this is nasty. Why do we have to take it to that place? I just don't understand, okay? And one of the things I don't understand in this, if it's true, that Alexis said he reached out to James and, you know, was like, hey, I'm gonna give you an olive branch, and that James didn't respond to him. Why can't we just get along? I mean, we don't have to like everybody, right? We don't. You don't have to like everybody. But can you, like, mutually respect each other, okay? Unless what you're saying is I don't respect what this other person is doing, and I think that's completely fine, right? But if somebody reaches out to you, I think we should always hear what they have to say. You know, I do. So it's very, very interesting. And I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone today. Hey, friend. And she said, well, what do you think that they should do? And I said, I think that they should battle it out. She goes, you do? And I said, yes, take it to the park. No, I don't believe that. I don't believe they should battle it out in the park. But what I do think they should do, and I would love to see this, right? We haven't really seen this ever. How about a Rumble, West Side Story? We've never really seen this in the YouTube world. But how about a battle makeover? How about if we see a battle, a makeup battle between James Charles and Alexis Stone, and let the people decide? That's what I'd like to see, okay? And I don't know what we would do, but some kind of thing to see, like, you know, because they just want to fight with words. They do. And that's kind of what Alexis was saying. Like, I don't fight with words. I don't get behind a Twitter keyboard. Like, I'm going to step up to you, right? Well, that's not any nicer than somebody taking it to the titter. Oh, I've lost my mind. That's no nicer than somebody taking it to the titter keyboard, okay? And don't call it sick with the titters, because listen, that's a bad excuse. It's even worse than the twoots. But nobody, listen, we don't need to be stepping up to people. We don't even need to be mean on the Twitter and then the comments. Why can't we just be nice to each other, okay? So if y'all can't work it out, I think you have a battle royale. I think you battle it out on makeup. We set up a half an hour, see who comes up with the most sickening. Hi, sisters. See who comes up with the most sickening, okay, original look in a half an hour, live, in an Instagram story or a YouTube live or whatever. I think that's how we ought to do it. And let the other person just shut up after that. You know what I mean? Like, just put your money where your mouth is. I'm just so tired of all this, okay? It's messy. Clean it up. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I love you, and I'll see you tomorrow with some more shade. Bye.